Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another One Piece anime episode review for you guys. And this episode, again, you know, obviously, listen, I know the pacing's obviously toned down to the death of a door where you're only getting maybe half of a chapter, and it's funny because this chapter essentially covered a full chapter, which kind of was out of order from last week's episode. But I know the pacing's pretty bad right now, but I just feel like it's gonna be like that for a long time till I guess you can say maybe the manga gets farther ahead, but we're like right around the corner and stuff like that. But anyways, I thought this episode was pretty fine for the most part. You're getting a setup battle between a Toyoropo member and Yamato. One of the freaking bosses of the region, I forgot his name. It's the one that looks more like, that has a face that has the droopy ears, and the one that looks more like a mouse. He actually got infected with an ice oni after getting cut, and just craziness and hecticness. And the Skywards are obviously continuing their battle on, and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, let's get to the chat. Let's start with this episode. We start back in the main hall area where Queen is just reveling in everything that's going on here. I've just seen this crazy hecticness and this destruction and everything and stuff like that. And he's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm getting it out. He pulled out his freaking machine gun turret, and he starts just unloading. And this is not just firing like his freaking plague rounds. He's just firing regular bullets, and it doesn't matter if he's hitting. No, he doesn't care if he's hitting freaking just regular guy hit, other onis or other samurais. Hell, even his own men. He doesn't care if he's hitting his own men. And we cover to the ground level. We see like the Orochi's former ninjas, his former I think Onibawachu. I don't know how to pronounce that. They're all talking about the fact, because they're also have to deal with the Onis too, and they're like, okay, just don't get cut, we'll be fine, we'll get out of this. And they're like, but what if they're our own? They're like, it doesn't matter, just kill them, essentially, and stuff like that. That's what we're here to do, and stuff like that. And they're kind of being held back, and we're seeing the other troops, samurais being held, trying to hold them all back and everything, but they're having some trouble and everything. And the thing is, well, they need to fight back, but they can't harm their allies. We do cut over to Chopper, and we find out Chopper, and even Robin, they're holding obviously pieces of I'm guessing the ground floor is these wooden logs, so they can't touch them because they can't touch them. And most of their abilities is, well, they have to use their hands to touch them, but they can't touch them because you touch them, that you then turn into an Oni. Like everybody else that's been turning into an ice Oni, and they're just kind of holding back. But Chopper's obviously getting pissed and everything. He's like, a damn Queen, I'm gonna have to do something, and I'm gonna save everybody here, and I'm gonna turn them back to normal. That's his whole thing. Yeah, and that's kind of it. The funny thing is, this episode was titled Chopper's Determination, and you barely get Chopper in this freaking episode. I hate these misleading titles. The titles for these anime episodes are very misleading because, well, some of these story points are barely even focused in the chat in the episode. I understand you can't come up with something more obvious and everything, but it's if something you think, oh, the title's named after Chopper, oh, Chopper's gonna have some sort of importance. No, you get this mini dialogue scene where essentially Chopper's just saying, I'm gonna do whatever's within my power to turn everybody back to normal and stop that guy. So I don't know if they're foreshadowing we're gonna get Queen versus Chopper. I highly doubt it. Queen's definitely got haki. We know Chopper doesn't have haki. I only see one of the big four on our crew taking him down, fighting Queen. That's either Zoro, Sanji, or Jinbei. That's really it. Obviously we know Luffy's gonna fight Kaido, so there's no point in fighting Queen and stuff like that, even though we had a chance to fight him in the last time we saw him. But whatever. That's kind of it. In terms of the other big ongoing things in this whole battle is essentially the boss region people they're holding them back as best they can, and they're obviously other people are telling, hey, do not kill them, they're still around, we'll see if we can find a way to turn them back. But old man Hio's having some trouble, and then we see obviously the one boss try to hold back one of the Onis that are all on him, over him, but he gets pushed back, or he pushes that ice Oni back, but he ends up getting cut by them, and he starts turning into an ice Oni, and everything, and that's where we left on a cliffhanger over there, and that seems seemingly going to be centered around the next episode, the next episode, which is actually pretty shocking. That would be a massive loss if we actually lose one of the bosses of the Wano region, and just because he turned into an ice Oni, which is freaking crazy. I did not see that coming. Just as much as I didn't see Kiku's arm being cut off, and stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyways, I want to cut over to the Momonosuke, Shinobu, and Yamato side plot. Now, we start this whole thing off by King essentially announcing to the Tobiropo and other members in the Beast Pirates crew, saying, listen, forget the other straw pirates, forget all the other pirates, and forget the samurais. Listen, the reason why they're here raiding Onigashima is so they can kill Kaido and have Momonosuke be the new shogun of Wano and take the throne. Now listen up, guys. If we kill Momonosuke, well then that said reason for the samurais goes out the drain. Now, I can't speak for the pirates, but for the samurais, they would lose the will to fight if their leader is dead. So, change your plans. Don't worry about anybody else getting in your way. Don't worry about the pirates. Don't worry about the other samurais. Go find Momonosuke and go kill him, because that's going to lead you to victory. And he found that out all because Bao Hung was using her cat, and well, that's how it was seen. Shinobu and Momonosuke, they lose Yamato for a bit. So yeah, but anyways, going on, they're running, and that's when we see Shinobu and Momonosuke confronted by Sasaki. He's just kind of sitting there in a chair. He's just trying to shoot them up and everything. But we see that Shinobu ends up dodging the attack and hiding Momonosuke for a bit. But Momonosuke then ends up reappearing because Shinobu tries to go on and attack, but she gets forced back. Momonosuke's like, Shinobu, and everything. And obviously Shinobu's like, Momonosuke, you should be hiding and stuff like that. She tries to carry him away, or they try running, and they fire some arrows that were targeted at Momonosuke, and Shinobu protects Momonosuke, taking some of the arrows in her back. And she's kind of just down for the count, truly, to be honest. And she asks Momonosuke, listen, you need to run and get out of here and get somewhere safe so they can't kill you. Momonosuke is obviously having his internal thoughts of saying, but I'm Odin's son. I can't freaking run. I'm a shogun. I'm the shogun's son. I'm supposed to be a leader. I can't run. And I'm just over here like, kid, you're a kid against grown men, grown pirates. There's no chance in hell you're winning. You might want to take advice of your little companion and get the hell out of here. But what happens is Yamato hears everything that's going on. Yamato shows up and freaking takes out one of the people that looks like it's going to cut off Momonosuke's head. Takes him out with, I guess, a Thunder Bagara. And we're set up with the matchup of Sasaki versus Yamato. And she goes on to do her pose saying, I am Odin, yada, 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 which it's cute, adorable, funny stuff and everything. So yeah. So it seemingly we're going to get Yamato versus Sasaki next week, or whenever that fight happens and stuff like that. So that's the next stand up, and Sasaki's getting up for this fight. In terms of the scabbards, obviously, Kiku's arm has been cut off and everything. It honestly looked like it was gonna die. She was gonna die, and stuff like that. So yeah. Now I believe it was Dogstorm. Dogstorm tells the other minks, "Listen, get out of here. Get to safety. We don't want any more casualties. Kaido's too strong over here." And thing is, they essentially wrap up Kiku's bleeding arm. And essentially, Kinemon, he essentially closes the wound by setting his sword on fire, just burning it burning her skin so the wound closes up and everything, and there's no more like blood loss and everything. And Kaido's just looking at it. He's kind of smiling like and he goes on his monologue saying, you guys are strong and everything, but he's like, Roger, Whitebeard, Odin, I see why they smiled and enjoyed their deaths, because, well, they knew their end was near. And in the meantime, we see Kaido deform from his dragon form, and he is back in his regular human form. And he goes on to say, well, okay, come time to fight. It's time to put you guys out of your misery. That's essentially what he's saying. He's like, it's time to kill you guys. You're going to die alongside your master. You'll see him, in the other world. I'm here to kill you. Now, Kinemon goes and say, don't get so cocky, Kaido. And obviously, I think, Kinemon's saying that because he thinks, oh, you deformed from your dragon form because you think you underestimate us. But listen, I don't see any more else the Scabbards can do. I think after that last attack, that Paradise Totsuka they did, listen, that was the best shot they had, and they couldn't kill him. Kaido at this point, he deformed from, whenever we see Kaido deform from his dragon form, we already know, because we saw it with Luffy when the arc started. When Kaido sees it as his opponents aren't worthy to literally give him a challenge in his dragon form, he just goes back to his regular base human form state. And that's when he's just like, yeah, it's time to wrap this fight up. That's when he gets to the point where if he goes to his dragon form and he's fighting you in his dragon form, then he just deforms back to his human form. We saw it with Luffy. He's like, okay, yeah, that's it. I'm done. It's time to wrap this fight up. I'm just gonna thunder bagger you. You're gonna die. That's over. Done. Now Kinemon and the others see this as a way of Kaido being overconfident in himself and being cocky. But listen, we know Kaido's strong. At this point, if I was the Scabbards, I'd be running for my lives. But we know the Scabbards are samurais, and samurais, they don't run from battles. They face battles head on, and they will willingly lose their life if it's to do what they need to do. But yeah, that was kind of it. So yeah. And like I said, next week it's gonna be covered. It seems like next week's gonna be truly covered around what's going on in the main hall, and Zoro's gonna do something and stuff like that. But yeah, but other than that, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Oh, we do cut over to, I forgot to make a mention. Luffy, Sanji, and Jinbei do make an appearance in this episode. They're just taking down other gifters. That's kind of it. Nothing much, nothing more to that. Like, we see this giraffe and chicken gifter, and Sanji and frickin' Jinbei just get them out the way with utter ease. And that's kind of it. And it's just them trying to find some way to get to Kaido. So yeah, but other than that, that's kind of it. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode. Again, do not post spoilers for what's going to happen in the future of this arc, since I do not read the manga. So please be aware of that, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more One Piece anime content. And yeah, but other than that, I'm gonna get it for guys. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night on this video. Until then, guys, catch you guys later. Peace.